four get together and really click and get this club going, you know, I've had my mission and my statements all out there for a long time. So I'd like to use them because they work. It's taken me a long time to get right with the government because they shut me down once because I wasn't a corporation or they didn't want me to be a corporation. So some friends want to be together and some don't. But years ago, I was trying to start this. And Karen Kirkpatrick, I'm dropping her name, with Janet Carroll Lesson. Now, Karen knew me through another girl. We were doing an event in Kentucky because, folks, I was always promoting people, spiritual people in events and helping them with their events. So I was going to help this girl. I won't drop any names, but because all of these people in events are my friends, okay, because I've been doing it since 2003 on the record, okay, when I was up and doing bluegrass events for the Bill Monroe Foundation. I was one of the original owners on stock and all that. But we don't want to go there. Got all messed up with Kentucky. But I am the original person up there with bluegrass events, and James Monroe and Bill Monroe's that died with Dr. Campbell Mercer, and I could tell you all kind of stories about getting events and people in county and state, and Lord of mercy. I met wonderful people and gave them some of the musicians with the Bluegrass Boys and all the people that come on the stages. I was back there. My name's on the original as somebody back there on the backstage with this big place where all the stars sign their names. And I've been on television and signed guitars and done records, and yeah, it was fun while it lasted. But I'm 60, going to be 68 years old. You know, it's a fun ministry. But, you know, to each his own. But here, not so much. Now, I've had the guy that wrote Wipeout. He asked me to please keep him in my group. So he's going to stay with us. Matt, what's his name? I never can remember him. He wrote Wipeout.
Merrill Frankenhouse.
Yeah, one of the nicest guys. He promotes me in Alignable. I like him. Sweet. We need to have him back. So write that down. We'll have a musicians radio show. But I'm going to just be honest. Tonight we're going to do Ascension Age gifts. We already got an hour gone. But I'm going to tell a little story here. But Kimberly, you got anything more you want to add about you? Because this is a heavy conversation. You said you could talk all night if we get started on good and bad side of religions. Spiritual versus.
That's true, but going back to what you said about MUFON, I had the exact same response and experience with them, and not real sure about ever reporting anything to them, and that's the problem. A lot of the UFOs and things like that don't get reported because of these kind of incidents, so people keep them to themselves, as well as they don't report to the police for the exact same reason. So a lot of the groups, that's where we get a lot of those people from. Sure.
Yeah, they said they were like turning out to be debunkers or laughing at the people and hanging up on you, which is what the guy did to me. So that makes me feel like you don't want to tell them nothing. They ain't going to get reported.
I got into an argument. Yeah, I got into an argument with him because I captured one on film. Actually, I captured two on film. I sent you the pictures yourself. You know, you've seen for yourself over Lake Erie off of Sandusky, Ohio. And it's clear exactly what it was. And he's going to tell me it's a water droplet. And I says, you know what? When you can put windows around the the water droplet, we'll talk again. I don't have too much for. I mean, I do have a friend that's in MUFON through Facebook, but as far as reporting anything, never. I won't.
Well,
I'm not reporting anything anymore either. Nope.
Well, you got to just be yourself and own it. And now we have a UFO association now, folks, and we're going to put all our archives together. But these are some of the old guys I knew growing up, folks. I'm going to be 70, and a lot of my friends have died. And you know, Stan T. Friedman, he was good in the beginning, and then he went commercial, writing books and going to all the MUFON meetings, bless his heart. And I loved him, and he and I would have talk for hours until I couldn't afford it anymore because I got I'm not going to tell you the amount of my phone bills, but AT&T was getting rich off of me.
Yeah, but stop and think about it. Stanton didn't believe things at the beginning, it wasn't until later on, when he started realizing that, there's just too much of this not to be what it is.
Yeah,
and
he really did turn around. He did.
Yeah, he did make a complete turnaround.
He was really after me way back in the early days after, but see, he and I were on the same case. We were on the Louisiana case because I lived there. And
so you think report that Barry is the best?
No, not anymore. I love Jan Harzan. He's a sweetheart, but he even quit talking to me. He only came on my radio show for a little while, and I was going to have him back. But he got real busy but he wouldn't take my calls, so that scared me because I'd sent him a bunch of real deep stuff that I shouldn't have, that were my personal writings. The Mad don't even have them for my book.
Who's that? Barry?
No, Jan Harzan. But
okay.
yeah, Barry's got some of my personal stuff too. He sure does. So,
well, you know that Barry has that because he's got several cases. He's got Eric Mitchell's case right now, big time. Like when that drops, that's gonna bring out a lot of ET because like this guy Eric, like I'm gonna try to see. He might. I think we're mutual friends, TJ.
Me and you?
Eric Mitchell. No, you and Eric Mitchell.
We are?
I'm friends with him too. I'm also friends with him. Yeah. I thought I saw him on your page.
Oh, okay. Well,
he might be on mine as well.
On Facebook.
What's that?
Yeah.
I said he might be on mine as well.
All right.
Well, anyways, he has so much evidence of pictures and everything like you did, but see, good thing he has Barry because Barry communicates it with him. You know what I mean? Like, Barry took risks. He took risks, like he got ran off the road to that conference that I threatened that guy that was about to become president and didn't remember the next day. That's who Eric was. I was going to see him, but I threatened somebody else. Ed Becker.
I don't know all these people, or if I do, I apologize, folks.
Ed Becker, he was the one about 9/11, and he was all about the 9/11. Let's bring it out.
Oh,
and he was running for president. Well, it was an inside job, plain and simple. It just like they shot down Flight 800 in Long Island. Inside job. They said that a fisherman told me, an older fisherman, he was a Coast Guard too over there in the Mauritius Bay. He saw them with and Talibans were in a boat and they shot that thing down.
Hadn't heard that. I've been out of the loop because my husband died.
So there's a lot of things. It's like it's a giveaway. It's a dead giveaway.
Well, I'm just coming back. I'd say after a couple of years. Janet's been dragging me along.
Oh yeah, Janet. How long has she's been out for a while though, right?
Well, she started with me here in 2012. She claims to start with another guy, but she actually, if she remembers, she was with me long before she started on that guy that disappeared and his wife died in Las Vegas. But she came to me after Bob Dean because I had gone to Europe. My husband had. But anyway, the European theater, I didn't know anything about Allied Command, but now we've got our Allied Command with our company doing intergalactic relations, interdimensionals. So I don't know how the government's going to feel about that, but the intelligence community came to me, and Homeland Security did. But, when you go to get your driver's license, Homeland Security has to approve all that. I was shocked.
So now you know who the White Mountain Boys are.
I hadn't looked into that yet. I told you last night it was a band, but my brain hasn't grabbed that yet. But you tried to help me, but they wouldn't let it come through on Facebook, Sean. Remember I told
I
you?
read it to you, though, about how it was the intelligence agency, and yeah, I read it to you.
Well, I know, but I have to admit, I think a lot of my stuff is sanitized. If y'all are cleaned up or blacked out or redacted, Ahmad, how would you say that? Because people believe what they're seeing on their computer is like they think everybody's seeing the same advertisements. So how do you explain bots and algorithms?
Yeah, it all depends on what you click on. The ads you get all depends on what you're clicking on.
And Facebook decides what you see too. I don't know if people know that or not.
Oh yeah, if you can pay to have your ad put on Facebook on people's pages.
Yeah, and also when you're sending Ahmad, I don't know if you know this, but even in your IMs, your messages, now some people get thrown off and get now this is just general knowledge, anybody knows this, but that you can get thrown off or be suspended for what you said or not get along with
I know
terms of service. But
I put videos up all the time, and they do that to me. And I'm like, so if you don't want people to think that this isn't true, why do you continuously threaten me to take it down? Or take it down,
Well, you hear they're very political. They're very left-wing political.
Yeah,
and
but political and the one video I got on my Facebook, and he's talking about how, oh, yeah, Hillary, and next thing you know, he's behind in the back screwing around with that kid. And saying who he was. Yeah, saying his name out and everything. I mean, come on, man. It's like
what?
That's what's going on. Our politicians, everybody.
Everybody's hiding behind programs or political ties or religious ties or words or metadata. But my point was that even if you've got the equipment and you're hooked up, you may or may not be getting the communications. And I've got to open my brain back up to be like a true open-minded, but look at everything, not just look at what they're sending me. Because you were trying to send me from your phone through Facebook and send me, and they would say, "I'm sorry, but this has been removed." And you said, I got one thing explaining 5 hours before from you, Sean, but they're monitoring what you're sending me. Ahmad, what is that called? They're in this country, people don't know they do that.
It's censorship.
There you go. That's
I had my a radio interview that I had sent to not only my page but a couple of the other ones in groups that I'm in and in control of. I got thrown in Facebook jail because for sharing. When they shut you down for 24 hours.
Oh, yeah.
They literally, that's what they call Facebook jail. I was shut down for 24 hours for sharing my interview on the exact same topics of what we're talking about right now.
Oh, I just got shut down for 24 hours for sharing my radio show. They said I was shut down for 24 hours. So if they didn't ever used to, when did Facebook jail start for people like?
Oh, it's been going on.
Just because you share a radio show, because now are those considered business? Because we're not paying them to advertise the business, or I don't understand what's going on.
It all depends on the subject you're talking about on that show.
Yep, I believe that too. I believe that's exactly what it was, because I've never had an issue before until I shared with 3 or 4 groups, and that's exactly what happened.
You can go up to Google right now, and if you Google anything about AI, it's all good stuff about AI. They don't have nothing up there about bad things about AI anymore.
Well, you want me to tell my dream now? You think I should, Ahmad? At least of what I can remember? Sean, do you want me to tell you? Because
absolutely.
You told me I could use your name. I've got permission, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kimberly was probably the